Dr. Sisley, hi.
Hello.
Thank you so much for answering from Arizona. You're one of the lecturers of Demystifying Cannabis seminars. So we are actually very lucky that we could follow your battle for veterans and battle to make the research done. And this year you announced that the first randomized controlled trial of whole plant cannabis as treatment for PTSD symptoms has been formally completed. So congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a long road, but very worth it. We've learned a lot of things along the way, and I'm hoping we keep trying to change policy, to persuade the government to loosen some of these restrictions on cannabis research so that science can finally flourish. The completion of this study is very symbolic because it represents hopefully a new chapter in the U.S. where research will finally be able to be done a little bit more efficiently.
Yeah.
To take 10 years to do a clinical trial, that's unheard of.
So this probably brings new challenges, and I'm wondering, what are you currently busy with?
We're gearing up for our next clinical trial, which is an FDA phase 3 trial looking at smoked cannabis flower for cancer patients. So these are patients that have end-stage cancers, usually that have spread already, and they have significant breakthrough pain, and we're going to be treating their pain with either smoked cannabis flower or fentanyl, the very powerful opioid fentanyl, and comparing how what works better for the patients, and also using the smoked cannabis flower to treat their quality of life, their overall well-being, their mood, their anxieties, their sleep, all those things can possibly be improved with the cannabis flower. So that's the next study. We're actually doing it in conjunction with a Canadian team that has been, that's been my goal to try to source other plant material outside of the University of Mississippi. We know that for 50 years, the University of Mississippi has enjoyed this government-enforced monopoly, and they've been the only federally legal drug supply for all research. But the plant material from them is really suboptimal, and we're trying to access flower from other countries that might have better quality and more diverse options, that more representative of the real world. So that's what we're up to.
And what will you be talking about at the seminar?
Yeah, what I hope to do is highlight the research that we've just completed, even though we'll see if we get it published by the date of the seminar, then I'll be able to talk in detail about the data. Otherwise, I can just talk in generalities about what we learned. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more about what are the continued barriers to research in the U.S. and how that affects you guys, that we're not able to pump out the science that you need to be able to change public policy. It's very difficult to make any reforms when you can't do good studies. Your studies are being sabotaged by this low quality marijuana. So I want to talk a little bit about that, and then talk about our next studies coming up and what we're hoping to do with our research is focused strictly on smoked and vaporized cannabis flower, the dry bud material. So we don't really work with extracts, concentrates, and there's a reason because we feel like the flower is the medicine, and all these derivatives are important and useful tools, but they're not as good as the natural flower. So we're hoping that we can continue to do research on flower, because flower seems to be the most controversial. For some reason, the governments are so scared of this green leafy substance, but they're happy to approve pills and tinctures that look more like the big pharmaceutical model. So we're trying to change that paradigm and persuade them that the flower is the medicine. And hopefully the data will speak for itself. Once we're allowed to use high-quality cannabis flower in studies, I think you'll see a real renaissance of cannabis research globally. So
You're doing great work. So whom you would like to invite to the conference?
Oh, we'd love to see, all parts of the community come together. That's kind of the beauty of this plant, is that it builds the spirit in the community and brings together people from all different walks of life. So I hope to see everyone from healthcare professionals, not just doctors, but nurses, physical therapists, all the different folks in the allied medical community, and then lay people too, whether it's patients, their families that want to learn more about cannabis as a medicine. And then really, I'm hoping to see some government officials there, especially those government agencies that are dealing with public health. It's important for them to learn about the science that already exists that supports cannabis as a medicine. So I'm hoping that we see some elected officials, some, administrative people from the National Institute of Health, things like that. And then, of course, it would be very helpful if the media could come and cover some of this so that the population there knows that these educational events are happening around them. I'm hoping that the government understands that this is a real movement that is not going away, and it's important for them to acknowledge it, to learn as much as they can, and hopefully make decisions for the public based on real data. And then, of course, fellow scientists from maybe the universities or others who are interested in doing research but not sure how to get started, that hopefully they can come there and we can, convene and mentor each other on how to do this. That's the only way we're going to be able to change policy and to see the society evolve, is by coming together and generating ideas and building consensus. All that has to happen, and I know it will at this event.
Dr. Sisley, thank you so much for this conversation, and we are looking forward to see you in October in Ljubljana.
Yes, I'm so excited, guys. See you there.